Hello. Sorry, I was just vibing to the music. I forgot that I was streaming. Hello. More music. Hi, Ragdoll. Hi, Kiro. How we doing? And a plamp. Hello. Hello, fellow gamer. How be we all be doobie? I hope we be all be doobie. Panicking? No, don't know that. Silly brain. Hit brain with fork. No, hit brain with newspaper, poke with fork. That's the way around that goes. You hit 1k words today. Did they hit you back? That would have been a better joke if my throat didn't do something weird at the end there. Hurrah! They did. Good. You're doing great. You're doing lots and lots. I did almost nothing today. I had inertia. It was very difficult to get past. But I did some stuff, so. A little bit of game stuff, a little bit of personal stuff, a little bit of writing. But yeah. Here we are now doing a stream. We're back in the Achiatini. For reference, Plamps, I don't know how far you are in your game. So just to let you know, we're in the break, the intermission break of the first day of the case for the last case. So that we've just had the first court session for the fourth and final case. Little bit of cool things. Well, the game, the little detective-y thing that I'm working on now has, in theory, support for backgrounds and characters, so that's good. Not that far behind. Ooh, marvelous. But yeah, we're currently at that point. We interviewed a few. Was it a few? No, it was a couple. We interviewed. We cross-examined former Detective Gumshoe and Old Bag. And we got lots of information out of them, of course, because they're both very competent and trustworthy. Well, Gumshoe's trustworthy. He's just unemployed. But yeah, we also had the twist. So apologies, I will be explaining twists from now on. The court case began, and we were ready to get going and be like, right, cool, take this, Francisco, so on and so forth. And then she got shot in the shoulder. So Edgeworth had to take over. Oh, he was so upset. But Edgeworth is clearly playing some sort of long game. And we've managed to prove enough about this case to indict Adrian Andrews instead of what's his face? On guard. So, and Edgeworth knew this was going to happen, so Adrian Andrews is actually here, which is good, because the kidnapper gave us a day. So, yeah, it's all about to head in that direction. Sorry, I thought I heard a cat scratching at the door. So yeah, might as well hop straight into it, might we? Might we? I think we might. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way! Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. Well, she is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off.
What quote are we on? Oops.
We're on that one, apparently. Hi, Jeeb! Jeeb made a very cool picture of Sally. Everyone go look at it. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could also have easily planted that blood-covered button on your katana. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, oh dude, you're saying it was really her? Hi, Obes! You were just quoted. Yes, she's the real killer, definitely. There's not going to be a twist at all. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. I'm so confident.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda.
Her own agenda? What are you talking about, huh?
I'm sure you'll see by the time the trial's over. It'll be alright, I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day.
You get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude?
Oh god, you. Mia's here as well. I'm not upset to see Mia. Mia's fine. Just, it's the circumstances.
Phoenix? You think her motive is related to Celeste Impax's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Ms. Andrews depended on Ms. Impax as her strength and reason to live. But then Ms. Impax suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note. Oh, by the way, trigger warning, lots of mentions of suicide. A surprising number of sudden mentions of suicide. Apologies, that's just what the case is. Do you remember when it was clowns and stuff? No. It's Mia. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible, but one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Ms. Impax.
It was Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet.
See? Stay safe, everyone. Hap Prid. It's still Prid. Don't look at the calendar. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. The ship, you said. I wasn't going to bring it up. I wasn't going to mention it.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Ms. Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room.
They have quite similar voices, these two, so we'll see how it goes.
What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt on guard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter? Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him. No one...
Yeah.
Voices, they said they're similar, and I can't change just a bit. I have to change a lot. Depends on what's meant by in charge.
Yes. No one is accusing you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
Well, say hi.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Ms. Andrews.
Very well, then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
Did we all have a nice day, by the way? Are we all good? Are we all feeling great and up and chipper and hooray and happy? Also, what do you think that card is?
When I found the body, it was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, we went to Juan's room.
A chicken guy is licking the Mona Lisa and an alarm's going off. What's not to understand? Tilda cat.
Don't remember that in Glass Onion. What was the question? How be dooby-doo.
You grotty little hair flap.
What? He's our defendant. How dare you?
Asterisk reading backwards text asterisk I'm sorry, I don't speak Dutch.
As true as it's ever been. figuring out babysitting stuff.
Well, the cauliflower didn't explode. The orb on top did.
The cauliflower orb? I don't have no memory of that one. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix, she's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yeah, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontation. Had a tired day, but good otherwise. Hurrah. Good, hung out with Bear today. He went through Jurgen and Bard as well as drawing Sully. Yeah, I saw Sully's cool. Jurgen's going through some stuff. Bear's been doing words. Many good things. Mia, leave. The thing everyone does after seeing a dead body, drinking red juice. Tomato juice. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things, inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over, understand? It's a very good draw. Time off has not impacted your skills. It's all still there and evident. Cool. Ah yes, she's autistic. You gotta go off script. It was time for the show to start. Nope, that's not my voice. It was time for the show to start. So I went to get Matt from his room. There's a lot of similar accents and parts of the throat going on. Anyway, press! And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. And then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room. Yes? It could not what? It could not live what? What? Yeah, exactly. Excuse me? What are you... Objection! Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. I'll miss that truth. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one of you. Watch. Bang. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. Embrace your inner Aaron Hansen and just do one single female voice. I honestly, I feel like I only have one female voice, and it's Old Bag. Yes, it's me. That's it. That's as close as I can get to a female voice. Jurgen has a spell where he can take off his hand. And usually it turned into a spider, but because of Kira, we decided Jurgen's hand will turn into a tiny little ghost doll. Oh, that's cute. He lives. You already knew that. What? No, it was such a big twist, though. Who could have seen it coming? After that, I went to Juan's room. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So, the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? You're going to be aggressive, press further! Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim. Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at the time. I can't get it to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got into his room? Why would you make him into General Grievous? And there was his dead body. I was in shock. That aside, can you request Jurgen as General Grievous? How would that work? Just like multi-armed holding some sticks. I don't really know. General Grievous doesn't really have like a costume Jurgen can wear. Put the mask on? It's not really a mask, it's a face, but you know what I mean. How wouldn't that work? In a variety of ways. You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corridor. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock, and you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. He's playing to the court. They don't know about us.
I see.
They're playing to the judge as well. I have no idea in which regard Jurgen is like General Grievous. He's so uncivilized. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I mean, not the exact same scene because you had a drink, but yeah. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corridor, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank. Didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Oh, never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Press further. Bang! Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. Almost said cream of the sign. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. There we go, this is where the guitar case comes in.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Bang.
Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, then people would simply assume the vase was another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
And I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
General Grievous is a Tumblr sexy man. I believe that. Never gotten that far into Star Wars, so the only thing you know about General Grievous is the 4 lightsabers, while Obi-Wan goes, "It's me, Anastasia," with his cloak. I know so uncivilized, but I don't think that's to do with him. I think that's someone else had a gun or something. Same scene, I think. He also sounds weird, like he smokes 400 packs of cigarettes a day. Anyway.
I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell onto the guitar case.
What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it's fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to
keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're gonna catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence. Have to find something, just have to, for Maya's sake.
How about the guitar case? Dip, 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 dip. We save, because I do not trust this game. Average suspect touches two things in a crime scene. Common misconception, meddlers Andrews. Is an outlier. I've heard memes about other common characters in these games doing things with evidence, but we haven't encountered those yet, so maybe we will eventually. Right, yes, let's about this guitar case. Because it has water only on the top of the lid. Yes? Yes. Objection! You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes?
Are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem, it's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Ms. Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that were true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
What is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. Oops. Is that what you're gonna share? I won't share on stream. Just, there's some interesting Grievous art out there. Yes, okay. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside the case.
Objection! What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
Objection! No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
Objection. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all.
That may very well be. However,
The empty guitar case does seem to have no real relation to this case, doesn't it?
It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about this guitar case?
yes. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this. But it is you.
I can't believe I'm doing this either. You need to prove a point. I think you've proven a point. I don't know what that point is, but you have proven it. And it also doesn't have anything to do with the Jurgen.
All right, I'll follow along. For now, Ms. Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Neither do you. The guitar case.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. That's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
There is a point, and it's being proven as we speak.
Fair.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
Well, the judge disagrees, Oops.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination.
Using any way to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man.
The guitar case. Cross-examination.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed.
During your testimony now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see.
Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case?
She is She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like her dependent side's taking over.
Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me.
Edgeworth, you want him so bad it makes you look stupid.
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over.
So, you opened the guitar case then?
Yes? Well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case? Mr. Corridor's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case.
As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was all right or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
But getting back on topic, it's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all.
Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside.
How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you just pay attention.
Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry. There could have been something else in the case. Other things exist in guitar cases, you know. Straps, tuners, capos, fret cleaners, whatever. Hidden suicide notes.
As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
Edgeworth, you know he can't read or know things. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
Yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. Yes, I should give it a try.
Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now.
I wasn't planning on letting up, but,
she's at her weakest now. This is our chance.
Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with.
I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found.
Featuring Dante of Devil May Cry? Whomst? Swords? Whomst? What? Whence? I have missed the reference. It might even have been a thing I said. Right, so what? It's not clearly obvious to me. Okay, I don't remember, because I was dazed. Must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase. Not a big deal, though. It was empty. That's why I opened the case, I don't know. Water and the bed's corridors. It doesn't have her fingerprints on it. So she didn't open it. That's probably a good time to bring that up. It's a joke. Most of the things I say are jokes. Except that. That was deadly serious. Yeah. Objection. There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Andrews. Because the only fingerprints on this case are those of the victim.
What is it, Ms. Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at that time?
It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
That's strange. You're wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Yeah. Bears your fingerprints.
Bears fingerprints.
I have your proof right here. This wine/tomato glass.
the wine glass.
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine/tomato glass. I'm gonna call it a tomato glass from now. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh, my glasses. Where? Oh, I've got some more. This judge sucks. Bang, bang, bang.
Order, order, order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
Huh? What do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean a machine gun? The bright white guitar! Wait, that's not right either. We both tried to make jokes. Neither was successful.
I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So, the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case.
Objection.
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his
Not going
misguided...
to lie. I'm disappointed.
Do you mind I'm rebuffing?
Objection.
No, Your Honor, please. Recall that Ms. Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case had some relation to the murder. Objection.
If you're so sure, Mr. Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claims, correct? Please enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder.
Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in that case.
The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar...
So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, right?
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder?
Camera? No, old bag had that.
Did she take it from the guitar?
It was Maya! Maya got kidnapped and put into the guitar case. The suicide note? That's my guess. I mean, I'm only going to lose one health if I get it wrong, so... Is there no other way of specifically saying suicide note? At the very least, we're going to be allowed to bring this up to give her a motive. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
And why would something like that be inside a guitar case, let alone this one?
Why, Mr. Wright? Why?
Well, I just thought it might have been possible.
I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that in the void where your brain is supposed to be?
Now,
Yes, and never bring it out again.
kind of foolish fool gets some love.
Do you still think you can prove your theory? Can you prove the guitar case was not empty at the time of the murder?
Etc., etc.
Deflate the head.
Think bigger. A guitar. A person is bigger. Well, a body, wasn't it? That would be very unpleasant. Was it him? Was he in there?
It makes there were no fingerprints apart from the guy's. Think bigger. I have absolutely no idea. Not a sausage. Not a single clue. I mean, I probably have a clue, but I have not registered it. What do we know left the room? An outfit. Oh, his outfit. I was wondering where the second outfit came from. Clever.
Look, this is a photograph.
Indeed, look at it. But, yes, sorry, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor.
In this picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. It takes a ragdoll. What I'm proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Bang.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right, are you saying that this witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be in to do something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Ms. Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Ms. Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop, and in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct?
You mean this photo?
Yes.
Order! It looks like we wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first and think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
The fact that I said that wrong is appropriate, I think. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. Yeah. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places?
True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the case?
It's a spare costume, because he was sleeping in the other one. Mr. Engard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. What?
Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. Okay, I kind of see where this is going.
But why? The victim, Mr. Corridor, was the German ninja. Why would he secretly be wearing the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? I caught that one before anyone noticed. What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
And therein lies the sticking point. There. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling this entire time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just...
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Think carefully, you say.
Boring.
All right, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... to pretend to be him during a post-ceremony confession.
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
Yes, that's what I said. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard.
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure.
Ms. Andrews?
I can see why you're pros at what you do.
Pardon me? No one's ever said that to me.
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Ms. Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the German Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway.
He was going to ruin him? Huh.
It looked like somehow Juan had his hands in a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What?
Bang, bang, bang. And do you know what the secret of Matt on Guards, Mr. On Guards is, Ms. Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
I see.
I've probably be coming off as quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. On Guard?
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems.
I always love it when Phoenix seems surprised that what he just put together turns out to be true, yeah. Why are you confused? He bluffs. He speaks first and asks questions late.
Ms. Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Yeah, he's not a lawyer. He is to law what Moist von Lipwig is to running a post office. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan, no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I'm the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
And the defense can find no fault with this testimony. If the defense can find no fault, I had a beard hair in my mouth, can find no fault with this testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Oh, looks like somehow everything swung the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. The man went to art school. He knows the art of bluffing. What are your favourite books? I remember the Sky adaptation. That was fun. Good times. David Suchet played the guy who ran the Clacks, whose name I've forgotten. Yep, that's gone. Anyway, it was a fun time. Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. I'm going to save because the judge might be annoyed at me for wasting time. But I have a feeling I have a thing. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. How did you know about the button? How would you know to protect him when you didn't know where the button was? That's my first thought. I don't know if that's what we're getting at, but that was the first thing that came to my mind. Anyway, let's press. Would you say that that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need three things. Three things. Hang on, let me get a piece of paper. A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these three things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach that to us in school. At least not what I remember. May I continue now? Phoenix, you've been doing this job for at least a year. Probably more. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. Reach your guilt. That's it. Thank you very much, Kira. Also, Charles Dance played Vetinari. He's very good in that role. And Terry Pratchett. We're talking about Going Postal, by the way. I don't think I actually mentioned the thing. Terry Pratchett's Going Postal, Discworld story. Terry Pratchett was at the end of it as a postman. Yeah, the last line of it, which was nice. That's a bit of an imbuggerance, I believe was the line. So would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for that conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Anyway, the important thing here is that the information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? I know that I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. So that's significant because it changed. So let's press it. Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Mr. Corridor with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped out. Objection! The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. Bang. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws in what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however.
The judge glaring straight at me. He's glaring at you, smart guy. You've watched too many actual IRL trials. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence of... No, that's not your voice at all. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. Bang. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? Oh, it's clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
Surprising lack of whips. That button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt. Right, okay, so. Gonna do a little save, because issues with this sentence that I want to just check. If we look at the thing. Oh, that's not, I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to inspect. Shut up, Phoenix. This is why you save.
trying to explain things, honestly. Right, let's have a look at it. That's not the picture, actually, so all in all, it was just a disaster. Here we are. Okay. He was already stabbed before the button got taken off, because there was blood on it. Why would he rip it off afterwards? If you had already stabbed the person. Just stand back, wait for them to die. How do I bring that up? Just gonna present it, see what happens.
Objection!
Nope, game doesn't like that. I disagree, but I don't know how to prove it. Let's try the picture.
Objection!
Oh yeah, I forgot he was strangled. Thanks for bringing that up. That would have taken me a while. Yeah, he was strangled to death. Where is it? Here it is. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Should we present that here? Hang on, now that I know that's a thing. Again. We'll try it. We've been through this. Right. Should we just try the autopsy report? Maybe? Feels like a slightly roundabout way of doing it, but I didn't lose health, so. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does this mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? See, this is the bit I was trying to bring up. After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means, bang, it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in a fight. In that fight. He was strangled to death in that fight. I cocked up the ending, bugger. That's right, yes. I sound impressive. Ms. Andrews, there is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled from the victim's dead body. Already dead body. Mia, help me, I can't speak. Like, 2 of these games already, and watched your playthroughs, and you only now notice the little green circles near the test. Well, something was happening there. Green circles near the testimony chat boxes telling you which statement you're on, how many there are and such. Yeah. I mean, that's a gameplay mechanic. You guys don't have to worry about that. That's for me. Anyway, the judge was saying something.
I like big butts and I cannot...
What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Well, let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body? That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
To have invented, to pin the criminal on guard. Framing. There is only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course. Bang.
And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world was the real killer then?
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard is...
I don't think it was. But that's kind of where the story's going, right? It was the old bag. She did it. She was jealous. Can't let her guard down yet, because at any point Mia can come into view again. Fine, we'll go for it. I don't think it's true, but I think that's where the case is at the moment. Ms. Adrian Andrews, I choose you. This isn't the wrong game. You are Mr. Corridor's killer. What? Oh, another pair of glasses. Oh my word. I get through so many of these.
Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Ms. Andrews. How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Oh, I can't, can I? It's rhetorical. Would you care to test me? Then what about his knife? The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Tisk? I don't know why I'm saying tisk. Then... What? What about the button that was found in Matsukama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence on his own Hakama. More! I really need to buy these in batch. You're the only one who does... That joke would work if I could remember the word. Wholesale. Wholesale glasses. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap. Which is you, yet again, Ms. Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
Bang. Yes, you got a box of 45 glasses at home, exactly. Unfortunately, she doesn't have them here. That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Ms. Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled from the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there is just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Ms. Adrian Andrews. No, Objection! Bang! But Ms. Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case, and it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's right.
Well, that's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Ms. Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. The perfectly normal thing to do is to leave a glass of tomato juice. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe that this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it were him. Speaking of how tall people are, Ms. Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please, stop. Bang. Well, how about it, Ms. Andrews? Got her this time.
Ms. Andrews?
I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Ms. Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room... Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right. Yeah, she got it from her. She learned it from you. That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Ms. Andrews to not testify if things look bad, because that's a really complicated thing to do. Thinking of just not talking in court.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
Oh dear. What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
Why not so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial? I mean, most evidence is. That doesn't mean it's bad.
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corridor.
Ms. Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corridor?
I believe this may lead me to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But, Ms. Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove either way. Or there's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, Mamma Mia, what do we do?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation. The courtroom's on fire. No.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Ms. Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? No! Love all these terms in red like it's a tutorial and not the last case in the game. It's like a tutorial on courts. This is a term you may not have encountered before. We don't have a tomorrow. Oh, if we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then hold it. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial... Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. It's not about that. Edgeworth, I know you. I know you know. I know you don't know. You know that I know. We both know that you know that I know that you know who the real killer is.
Please let the trial...
Oh, please let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
Bang, bang.
It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true Ms. Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Ms. Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes? And? I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were... I'm not American. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify?
Bang.
Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
Husband coming in clutch.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
him's husband.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
He's playing tricks. He loves tricks. Witness testimony. When I found the body. When I found the body. Classic 2026 reference to George Formby there. That glass of juice. I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, I thought he was... Oh, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. That's so sad you can't get a read. You should leave.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there is nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours?
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure where this is going myself, but... That honestly makes a change from the last case, where I kind of knew straight away. There was no real twists. When I found the body... That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. Just in case this ends up being another one where I can't press, I will save. We've been through a lot to get here. Press everything. But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right?
Of course not.
Then who did you pour it for?
Mr. Wright, there is a rhyme and a reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer for it to be revealed to you? In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Precisely. I couldn't have said it better myself.
The noises you lot could get from editing these streams of me just trying to interpret dots and exclamation marks and uns.
I was surprised when I walked into that room and saw it in that messy state.
So it was a mess. Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Corridor?
I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. And then, what did you see next, witness?
Yeah, there's a difference between not including something so trivial and saying an entirely different thing.
And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner.
Slumped over?
Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forwards, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping.
He had a knife sticking out of his chest. Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? Yes.
When I saw him sitting like that, I thought that he was dead. It didn't cross my mind.
Then what did cross your mind?
I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyway, that's what I thought.
I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all?
To be honest, I thought he had fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice.
You thought he fainted?
I thought he was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state. I thought maybe he had gotten into a fight with someone. And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice.
A nap with a knife in his chest, as people do.
Yes, he's always having a hard time waking up, so Juan always has a glass of tomato juice to drink.
I see. Wait, I don't see. That doesn't make any sense. And after that, what happened next? Wake up with tomato juice? Tomato?
When I realized he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
And how did you come to realize that he was in fact dead?
I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backwards. And knocked the flower vase over. So that's what happened. Yes. This is what it all comes down to.
Huh?
This is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case.
Isn't that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time? What? Okay, so. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. Let's bring up the crime scene photo with the knife sticking out of the chest. That's probably an idea. Whoops. There. Objection! So, you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corrider's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that he was a dead man.
Well, you see,
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for somebody who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go to pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. No! Drama, acting. See, here's the thing, I think that was all true.
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt Angard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
I think it's a giant lie solely because you don't think anyone would ever drink tomato juice. Fair. I'm with you with that.
Then there is no need for the court to continue any further. Mr. Matt Angard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
No. What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. Now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
I've seen so many episodes of Poirot, they're supposed to do that.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Angard.
Objection! Bang, bang, bang.
Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
What?
The reason is quite simple. Ooh, tap tap.
Hi, Kiro. How are things going? We got to the end of the trial and now Edgeworth is going, hang on.
This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
Bang, bang, bang.
The absolute real truth? Oh, what are you?
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt Angard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Franziska von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt Angard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time we've ever come across anything like this. Distant sound of a whip crack in a hospital somewhere.
But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? No. All we have to do now is to get our not guilty. That is my only priority. It wasn't me. I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please. Someone, help me.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
the court can't continue like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
Oh, simple. Declare Mountain Guard not guilty for now, and then we'll do a separate trial with regards to Adrian Andrews. And then I'll prove her innocent as well. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could have been except the woman crying over here. Right? Bang. Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I don't really know the intention here, so... I want a not guilty verdict, but also have Andrews to do other things. And so I feel like we can do both of these. This case is so confusingly worded. There's a lot of really good localization in these games, but when it comes to the actual like puzzles and choices and decisions, I often feel like I don't actually have enough information to work out what these mean. Which must be really hard. This game is entirely words. But I don't know. Forced to testify? If we do not guilty... It depends what our objective is. If our objective is to work out what happened here, we want to force her to testify. If our objective is to make sure Maya doesn't die, not guilty. But this isn't a game with, like, moral choices. Edgeworth just hit her with the, "Are you sure?" based on nothing but vibes. Edgeworth knows way more than he's letting on. He's got control over this whole situation. I think he knows some stuff I suspect, maybe, but also don't really quite understand. What does Edgeworth's objective seem to be? Edgeworth's objective seems to be to get to the bottom of this, because he knows someone's doing things behind the scenes and wants to make sure they come out into the light. So I guess trust boyfriend? I'm gonna trust boyfriend. He's a truth seeker, yeah. He seeks the truth. What's that from? What's he seeks the truth from? That's going to annoy me now. Game Grumps? No, it's from a thing. I mean, it probably is also from Game Grumps. No, I'm not calling you a liar. But I seek a different truth. Also, I think I'm actually thinking of he speaks the truth, not he seeks the truth. So ignore me. You're more correct than me, Oops. Edgeworth is the better lawyer anyway. Okay, when you put it like that, sure. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Sword of Truth has Truth Seeker or something, but you don't recommend. 8-minute long Game Grumps rant about kissing each other's dads to seek the truth. That one has escaped me, I'm afraid. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you're really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yes. I'm letting my husband take control. Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end? Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me. It's literally the whole court. Like, Judge, you can confirm this, right?
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it is clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
Ooh.
What a shame. Huh? I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However,
Well, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
You gonna pull a gun out?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Bang. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you?
Nope, forgot about this. Hate this. I mean, he is trying to do it to save her life. He's a bit of an arse, and he did try to just get her to speak, but... You know. He's an arse with a heart of gold. He's got buttocks of gold.
I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
You don't have to put it like that. The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop. I beg you. If people find out, if people find out, I'll...
Complex character.
If you're going to say that you would choose death, that is no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how could you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either's fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
My crime. My only crime is anxiety. He doesn't care who to kiss to find the truth.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, I was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume.
Anxiety, such an awful crime. And depression, too, and fear. It's an illness. My illness.
Stab the body? With the knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
Nothing. I still need to animate that with February, but I mean, I talked over it as well. Terrible. I thought it was a click. I thought it was in the game. Nothing.
Certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all of this?
So this is the thing. If I'm voice acting and I see WH ... I don't know who, when, why. There's a lot of vowels that could come after that. And I can't really go, who.
What do you mean by all this?
Oh, it might take this court a little while to understand, but... shake. This is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So,
WH.
See, even Hazel gives up.
So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim Juan Corridor in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
Don't put that in quotes. Framing someone for murder, even if they did it. Okay, actually, in a court of law, if you frame someone for the murder they actually did,
Would that count as framing? I don't know. I guess the intent was there, right? It's like the framing equivalent of... No, that's not manslaughter. It's the opposite of manslaughter. It's the opposite to the framing equivalent of manslaughter, which might be the most complicated thing I've said in my life. Anyway, let's skip that analogy. If you're so certain he did it, why not just uncover the body immediately? Probably because she went in, and there's people outside, and people saw her go in, and was like, oh dear. We have issues. Also, she just came in and poured a glass of stuff, so her fingerprints are in the room. In the US, tampering with evidence is still a crime, yes. But this is not the US. This is Japerica. Ameripan? I can't remember. Not awake enough for this. Okay, so the crime, it turns out, was not anxiety. It was framing. That's more reasonable. But what? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
Definitely feel like this is a crime, yes. But they're putting it in inverted commas, so... Yeah. When I first saw him, I really thought he'd fainted, honest. Okay, we gonna be on the... I'm gonna save, because if ever there was gonna be a time that people are gonna shout at me, it's cross-examining this. Bang. But you could tell from the state of the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck, but that scarf is part of the Jammin Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it. It was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up, and went to pour the juice. Crime. Quote, 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 crime, unquote, 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 unquote. When I realised he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. What is this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. Crime. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. First thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. So yeah, definitely a crime. So yeah, definitely know it's a crime. So was just read the first word, Chris. That was so that you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife? It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So, I thought to rip one of the buttons off and plant it in Mr. Onguard's Akama. Yes, that's what I planned to do, but things never go smoothly, do they? Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. So yeah, that was definitely a crime. I knew it was him who did the murder. So anyway, he was napping at the time. An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. Oh, and then OBS is disconnected. Fantastic. Or is my internet just completely gone? My internet might have completely gone. Ooh, that's a new one. Just no internet, maybe? I have no internet. Welcome to the VOD. If you're watching this on YouTube, hope you're having a lovely time. Just completely without internet. Can't even post Frame Man in chat. So, how you doing? I hope you're having a lovely time. It appears Matt on guard has come in and sabotaged everything. Oh, hang on, I got a bit more internet now. Well, we've reconnected. Hello. I was we back? Stream back? Yeah, my internet just completely died. I couldn't even post in chat. So refresh. Hang on. Refresh if necessary. They will avenge me. Kill my murderer. Smother them in marmalade. Oh yeah, we'll have to reset the bot. Give me a sec. There we go, bot's reset. So feel free to do a timing situation. We're back! DTS quote.
Oh no, we're going to have to spend more time in the company of good cheap friend. Well, that killed me.
Good cheap friend!
I also like looking at melons. Chibi.
Well, we know that.
None of you are real.
Okay, that got weird. A 3-sentence horror story. Okay, we all back? Are we all... I mean, it's a silly question to ask that because the people who wouldn't have heard it. So the answer is always yes, thereby making it not a question. That fear be real. None of us really exist. One of my personal favourite things is the question like, do we exist? My answer is always yes. Because why would you define exist to be something we don't do? It's a word we made up. Of course we exist. Why would we make the word to be a thing we don't do? Anyway, no moisturizer in hell. Right, okay, we're carrying on. Lotta was there outside the door, taking photos so she had to put on the costume.
Toddlers. Those greedy bastards. Tilda Cheeb.
Tilda Cheeb. I'm loving all of these siblings of Tilda Swinton. That's how siblings work, right? They share the first name. There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. Oh, that's Miss Oldbag for you. I'd already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. Thought the wiggle is a tilde, yes. I like tildes. I use tildes instead of dashes. Sue me. They're twiddly. They're more fun. They're more fun than a dash. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes. I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony.
You did?
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes. Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is the secret?
That, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. You could have closed the case.
I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. On Guard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's Akama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word. What does this all mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? Yes, that is my name. The real criminal is Matt On Guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Franziska, eh? She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
Yeah.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Bang. Well, wait, Your Honor. The defense still...
Right? Huh? It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
Bang. But...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Bang, 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 bang. But we're all still here. Just chilling out. Oh, nice chair. Oh, my hands fit perfectly in the spikes. Today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Huh? Edgeworth?
No, what is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, what exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remembered just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there, right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card, if you ask me. Why do you guess not? Phoenix! I'm gonna slap you in the face. But as far as a clue to this case, well, I don't see why. Hold! Please, Edgeworth, have the brains. Thank you.
Witness, that card. Give it to me. Hurry!
Edgeworth? Everyone in this game has rocks for brains. Edgeworth, thank you.
Do you have any idea what you've stupidly, yet inadvertently done? This. Oh, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. Well, what is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. Even at our wedding. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? To be continued. Haha! See, I know how drama works. Edgeworth is so valid. He's dealing with morons. Let's save. Anyway, in answer to your question, Edgeworth, no. We have no idea what she's done. March 22nd, 5:24 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Full stop.
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
Sniff, sniff. There, Paul.
I can't take it anymore.
Look, it'll be alright. Everything may still work out, maybe. Yeah. The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict. And so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. And he won't, because Mr. On Guard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up, we don't have time to stand around crying. We have to get going.
You're right. Mystic Maya is in much more pain than I am.
Yes, that's right. So... Hey, you guys, glad I caught you, pal.
Mr. Scruffy Detective.
Oh boy, it looks like Detective Gumshoe. It's because it is Detective Gumshoe. Oh, looks like he's been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. It's just plain old Dick Gumshoe now, and Mr. Dick Gumshoe now. And I came to talk to you, pal. But we're kind of busy right now. I'm always happy to see you, so. Edgeworth, we missed you. It's been clown college without you. The future. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, sure. So, what are you going to do from now on? You're going to set up a detective agency with Lotte? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So, do you have a new job lined up yet? Oh, that. What am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming in until my next payday. In at all until my next payday. But what are you talking about? You don't have another payday. Oh, I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal. What? Huh? What? You'll be searching for things that will prove Mr. Ungard's innocent all day, right? Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna help you, pal. I got lots of experience in investigating and watching over people's places. And I'm great at making real simple meals, pal. I'll take care of it all.
Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's let Mr. Scruffy Detective take care of things.
Okay. But, by the way, what's your best dish? Instant noodles, pal. Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods? We really need to get Edgeworth back in here. It's pronto. Speaking of... Oh, that was the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he'd say something like that. He didn't care if Miss Andrews killed herself.
He said that? That's horrible.
But because of him doing that, we got to the truth finally. The truth. Miss Andrews' last testimony. I wonder if that was the truth. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself, but I still think there's something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. You mean about that thing, pal? Why would she want to... No, I mean almost need to frame Mr. Ungard. I couldn't figure that out from anything she said all day. Exactly. As we've all pointed out. Then you're saying that testimony was a lie? Not a lie, per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. Well, that's what Edgeworth would like us to believe.
That's such a dirty trick. Even that woman prosecutor was better than that.
No, she wasn't. Franziska von Karma. Speaking of Ms. von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Wasn't she shot this morning? Ms. von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol, pal. But she's gonna be fine, right? I mean, Edgeworth said she was in a stable condition, but... Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. But it was a whipping shoulder, so she's gonna be angry for a while. They should be done taking the bullet out, so she's probably resting in the hospital. Which one? What? You gonna visit her, pal? No, well, I was kind of thinking about it. Hey, you've actually got a heart, don't you? She looked like she was being tortured to death not being able to get to the trial today. So maybe it'll be good for her if you went to her and let her whip you for a bit, pal. Just like Papa, shot to the shoulder. Getting shot with Papa?
Let's go let her whip us, Mr. Nick.
Don't say that, pal. Now I'm definitely not going. Let's see. The name of the hospital, oh yeah, the Hardy Clinic. Oh, that name sends a chill down my spine. Well, I guess it can't hurt to stop by and say hi. You sure about that? I'm thinking it might do. No, people said he would come back and they weren't lying. Fine. Let's delay the inevitable by talking about stuff. What do you have to say? Do you know anything about Celeste? Oh, she was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. Because of the suicide of the mentor she depended on, Adrian Andrews tried to follow in her attempted suicide. Now, the question is, who is Miss Andrews relying on now? My impression of her has totally changed, pal. So where is she right now? Oh, I'm sure she's being questioned down at the precinct. At the very least about messing with the body and obstructing the investigation. And she'll probably be staying over at the detention center. The detention center, huh? What do you think of this guy?
Oh, I can't believe it. Maya getting kidnapped all because of this guy. I mean, what kind of person is the real murderer anyway?
Maybe they're a big fan of Mr. On Guard. But the kidnapper's voice, he sounded like an old man to me. Did he? You should have specified.
Because I made it sound like this.
That's not an old man. Edgeworth.
Oh, that's the first time I've seen that side of Mr. Edgeworth, pal. Forcing people to say things he wants them to during testimony. I want to know what in the world happened to him all this time he's been gone.
How are you doing? You alright?
Oh, people are jealous of my roguishly cool detective look, pal. It's because of this look that I passed the detective's test, you know?
Oh.
But you know, people can't go through life on their looks alone, pal.
Yeah, you can't count on your looks alone. Wait, hang on. Yeah, you can't count on your looks alone. Sorry, Pearl came up and I assumed she was talking.
Wow, I learned something new today.
Anything about powers? No. He was at the gay clubs in Berlin. Oobs told us. Oobs told us that, Gumshoe, and I believe Oobs. I too believe Oobs. Sometimes you just need to go soul searching. In Berlin. Specifically.
Oh, I'm not a real fan of action shows or anything, but I know who Juan Carter and Matt Angada. Juan Carter, though, he was always desperately trying to be better than Matt Angada.
He's definitely not 21. Perhaps he was an old man. Eyes shift side to side. Yes, that's not even your joke. No, it's your statement of fact. Okay. Detention center. March 22nd, detention center. Visitor's room. From what the guard told me, it sounds like, along with Mr. On Guard, Ms. Andrews is also being detained here.
Then we should talk with them since we're here.
Yeah, but both of them are still in questioning.
And we don't have time to waste.
Yeah, visiting hours are almost over. So we leave? Oobs saw Edgeworth at the gay clubs in Berlin. March 22nd, Police Station Criminal Affairs Department.
Wow, everybody looks really busy with something or other.
They're probably strengthening the evidence for tomorrow's trial.
Oh, hi, hurry up with that, will you? Pass that victim's list around.
You've got to be kidding, there's over 100 people on here.
Mr. Nick, is Mr. On Guard really that big and bad of a criminal?
Actually, Pearl, never mind. It sounds like they're working on a different case. Okay, so there's nothing here. That's the wrong thing. I guess we'll go to the hotel then. Not the hotel, the hospital. L'Hôpital. March 22nd, Hottie Clinic reception. Never thought I'd ever come back to this place. Straight away.
Yes, we're here to visit a patient.
Hi. Wait a second, you're...
Yes, I'm Director High. Oh.
Why are you still here? Are you still there?
Yes, what is it? Can I help you? You can tell me. Yes. Director High.
Oh, Director Hottie. Edgeworth?
Yes, I'm Director High.
Oh.
Oh, you're the man from this morning. Yes, what is it?
Director, Franziska. How is Franziska von Karma?
Oh, you don't need to worry. Yes, she's in good hands. Because you see, I'm personally taking good care of her. Yes. Yes, and that thing, that surgery went well.
You have my gratitude. Looks like Edgeworth doesn't know about this director and his secret.
She looks so pitiful, absolutely terrified, yeah. But you understand. Yes, her opponent was a gun, after all. And when I snuck up on her real secret like, she would scream real loud. Yeah.
I see.
But she's real cute too. When I do that, she whipped me with her whip. Boy, I cry like a baby. But yeah, I think I can get used to it.
Good, thank you. Hi, Francisca. How are you doing?
Go back to your room. Oh, you're so mean, my frisky frisker. But that's good, Okay, yes, it's time for my IV drops, yes.
And what are those tulips doing in your hands, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I knew you shouldn't come here. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, this is the thing I was thinking yesterday, was like Edgeworth's sort of lovable, but he did spend most of the first game basically like almost forging evidence, just straight up. And then Von Karma took over and just did that. Just like committed crimes, forged evidence, tased me, etc. I was thinking Francisca, like, she whips people, but like, I don't know, I just never really got the impression she was particularly like evil. Like, a lot of what she's doing is basically just telling the witness, you know, hey, don't say that. Don't bring that up in court. Which feels like just a normal lawyer move, right? I just find it kind of odd that the game kind of assumes that we feel like she's like real bad and real evil, and Phoenix keeps saying, oh my god, she's so bad and evil, and I'm just like, is she? I don't know, she's like the least intimidating, well, she's intimidating, but she's just like the least bad opponent we've had. She just whips people, and that's funny. I don't know. Yeah, most she's coaching witnesses. Other than that, I mean, maybe we're about to uncover a massive conspiracy and it turns out she's behind the whole thing. I don't know. But at the moment, she's kind of in the best books of prosecutors that we've had. But Phoenix is dumb, we've established this. True. I just found it was an interesting change. I've seen a character, what I'm presuming is from the next game, Godot. I've seen him. Is he the next prosecutor? If so, they're going for very different vibes for each game. I don't know much about that character, but he seems chill. Anyway, we should talk. I love the kitten guy. Is that Godot? Smiley face. Is that a legit question? I'm just thinking out loud. The shooting. I was shot in front of the courthouse in my right shoulder. Yeah, it's swelling, isn't it? That's pretty bad. Oh, your left one as well. But it's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. I even had full intentions of running the trials this morning.
But that would have been too much for you.
There's no need to act tough in front of us, you know?
Regardless, I was dragged here by that man over there. He was so unyielding. Vanessa wondered if he was simply interested in stealing my case. It was the only logical course of action, given the bullet was still lodged in your shoulder. But by taking over the case, I found myself having to clean up after you and that irresponsible deal you made.
I think I know what deal he's referring to.
The deal.
Godot is kitten guy.
Godot is kitten guy?
I have no idea of this guy's vibe at all. Kind of looking forward to it. The deal. Ms. Von Karma, you made a deal with Ms. Andrews yesterday, didn't you?
I don't know what you mean.
In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict on Mr. Engard, you told Ms. Andrews to not testify in court today.
I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have proof that I made such a deal?
You're denying it?
Looks like you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If I had been in court today, the trial would already be over.
All while hiding Ms. Andrews' own crime.
That isn't my problem, whether she had tampered with the evidence or not. I have only one objective, to find Engard guilty of the murder. The ends justifies the means, Mr. Phoenix Light. The ends justifies the means.
Miss Von Karma, Adrian Andrews believed you when you said, if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then On Guard will be found guilty.
And what does that have to do with me?
Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself. All because she believed in your words until the very end.
It still has nothing to do with me. She's just a weak person, that's all.
But you had to know she was... Ah!
I think visiting hours here are about over. So, if you'll excuse me.
What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off?
Probably because she thinks I had the advantage in that argument. Edgeworth? Hi. How you doing? Today's trial. What? Today at the trial, Edgeworth. That was not like you at all. Berlin taught me some things. I mean, I know you knew about Miss Andrews' condition. Could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but go that far?
But she wouldn't testify about that until I had said something. Listen, right? The courtroom is a garden of judgment. I am putting myself on the line when I stand in there. And that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural.
Adrian's card. By the way, Edgeworth, you were really angry in court today. That's rare for you.
Witness, that card. Give it to me. Hurry. Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This. I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
That card, what in the world is it?
You mean this? Listen, right? This is top secret information. You absolutely cannot leak this. A special investigations team has existed for a number of years, but few know of it.
What the hell is this going? Don't bring up a friggin' secret spy network. I understand.
The task is to find the owner of this card, a man called Shelley the Killer. And just as his name states, he is a killer, an assassin. The best at that.
MI5, MI6, whichever one. Jesus. This is what I was missing from this game. None of the rest of the cases had something like this. This is the stuff I like, where it just goes, whatever, we're doing spies now. An assassin? Picture card was placed next to the victim at the time of the murder. Miss Andrews was carrying it. Corn muffin. Exactly. So who is this Shelley the Killer?
The Killer is the name of a long-standing line of assassins.
Long-standing?
The name first appeared about 100 years ago, I hear. Shelley is a professional name of the third heir to the Killer name.
So because his professional name is Shelley, he leaves the cards with a shell on them.
He has a habit of making sure to leave a card by the body of his victims.
Why would he do something like that?
We think it's part of his duty to his clients.
His duty?
If he leaves a card, then his clients will be assured that it is he who killed the victim. It also serves as an insurance against any charges being pushed onto his clients.
I see.
The Killer values the trust between his clients and himself above all else. It seems that this is one honorable assassin with a moral conscience.
I guess that even honorable assassins can exist. So, you think this assassin... You think he's the one who did the killing in this case?
It would appear that way. The discovery of this card basically confirms it, wouldn't you agree?
Shelley the Killer, huh? So, okay.
I noticed something at the trial today. You were behaving in a very strange manner. Is something the matter?
Oh, I guess I should just tell him. Shouldn't have secrets in a relationship like this. Maya. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped? What does the kidnapper want?
An acquittal.
I see. I had no idea. I will prepare a rescue team as soon as possible and resolve this by tomorrow.
Really? Did you hear that, Mr. Nick? Mr. Edgeworth is going to...
Stop trying to console me, Edgeworth. I don't need your pity.
Mr. Nick?
There's no way you can find her. We don't even have a single lead to go on. There's only one way to save her. I have to get an acquittal somehow. It's the only way. Right, listen. You need to know something. Juan Corridor was killed by Shelley the Killer. And the client who ordered the job is Matt on guard. I was going to say it was Matt on guard because you were just saying that there's a trust and protection situation with the client going on. So who would the killer want to kidnap somebody to protect? The client. Phoenix, shut up and let Edgeworth handle it. Problematic boyfriends. Shelley the Killer, cousin of Minnie the Moocher. Here's a story about Shelley the Killer. Yes, Matt on guard. Please, stop. I can't listen to you. I can't believe that. I see. Well, if you want to continue your investigation, you will need this.
What is it?
The hotel right now is restricted to police personnel only, as we are looking for any clues that might lead us to Shelley the Killer. But if you take this with you to the hotel, I'm sure they will let you enter. Letter of introduction received from Edgeworth allows bearer to freely investigate the Crimmy skin. In any case, I must attend to the preparations for my rescue team. We'll meet again, if anything should happen. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Mr. Nick, do you think Mr. On Guard hired an assassin?
No way! I mean, he doesn't have a psyche lock.
Yeah, I guess not.
Maya. I mean, he didn't have a psyche lock when we asked him, did you kill someone? And he went, I didn't kill anyone. He didn't. Maya. Please, all I ask you is to make it home safe and sound. Date. Time. Location. I guess even kidnappers can be a little clumsy. Clumsy enough to drop a card like this for me. And even though he said he was an assassin, I bet he's just making that up like how Nick does with everything in court. Anyway, let's try out the card trick with this card I just found. Click. Sounds like I got the door open. Okay, time to take a look around. Okay, we're back to Maya. This is stuff that we in theory already know, right? Because this was Mia talking about what she saw with Maya, and presumably we finished that conversation off screen. So we're about to learn things that Phoenix knows. Which is probably why he didn't have much confidence in Edgeworth, somehow. Interesting. I didn't actually have a look at this room. This probably is a good place to stop, actually. I'll look around this room and then we'll call it a day. What's this? Feels like there are a lot of glass bottles here. And these, they feel like barrels. Yeah, I'll pass. Too bad I'm really hungry and not really thirsty. There's all sorts of things piled up here, but it's too dark to see. With this blaring white light over the door. A door. I've unlocked the door with this card. I should probably go and take a look around. Next time. On Phoenix Wright.
It is often necessary to use all of one's little grey cells to solve great mysteries.
Hercule! Hercule! Where are you?
Second Poirot reference. But yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna be making noises as I save.
Yearning for life or death would induce flavor.
What?
We're going to be in a love triangle between the king and God.
Well, one of those is Edgeworth, but I don't know who. And it sounded like Gumshoe wanted to move in, but I don't think I described him as the king or god.
What is a snail but a tiny land turtle?
I mean, that's just true. That's just straight up truths. Give you even less context than the usual quotes somehow.
Bobby Penis Doo-Doo Orchestra.
That's what it said. That one didn't even come up. What was that from?
Can't remember what that was from now.
I want to put my mouth on the electricity.
Want to put my mouth on the air. What's wrong with that?
Let's go to prison.
That seems relevant. Snake turnip. Oh, I can put the 100 Days one there now, can't I? I should put more things there. I haven't put any new art in there, but I haven't really made any new art. I should make new art. Need to do more style stuff. Studies. What was I gonna say? Words, probably. Something along those lines. It's the end of the stream, so we're gonna end the stream. So about you, I think that's a good idea.
Alcohol keeps falling out of the walls.
I feel like I should add something different to these. Yeah, I know you can see chat on the side, but just the text-to-speech thing coming up with you saying that makes it look like you're saying. So I feel like I should add a little, like, you know, maybe make the icon Hazel or something. A bunch of quotes, but I feel like half the quotes coming up in TTS quotes are quotes you've never heard of before. It is using exactly the same system of randomly choosing, so...
The LOX has set himself on fire.
LOX?
NPC Cheap.
Not the LOX, the LOX, which is presumably an airport. But ye, thanks for coming. This stream will return on Saturday with Grim Hollow, unfortunately with no Cheap. Jurgen will be off learning to be a performer. Very exciting. However, something that will have a Cheap is tomorrow's stream with Cheap on the twitch.tv/chibinetherlands.com.nl. Thanks for bringing us on a ride. It started riding. It's taken halfway through the last case, but it started happening. Tomorrow Cheap stream with special guest Cheap. Audience goes wild. They stampede, destroy the set. But so that's exciting. That'll be hopefully, and I hope this is not seen as a negative towards the game at all, but hopefully the end of Red Pearls of Borneo. Because it seems to keep going on. It very much seems like it's near the end, but the end is just very, very long. So, but yeah, stream will return here. Grim Hollow, Saturday, no Jeeb, alas, no Jurgen. But that's fine, we're just in a spooky house. What could go wrong? And then Sunday Doodle Times, and then Tuesday we find out more about a friggin' League of Assassins and special ops unit trying to take them down that Edgeworth's been heading for a year, apparently. I don't know. They managed to hunt them down in Berlin, but they escaped. It's good, but if it goes on any longer, it's definitely overstaying its welcome. It's stopped being a game at this point as well, which is interesting. It's just a small epilogue novella. Which, I mean, Phoenix Wright is rarely a game. It's mostly just a novella. And when it is a game, it's less fun. So I don't necessarily mind. But yeah, anyway. For now, hope you all have a lovely. Let's find another piece of music to end the stream that I don't normally use as an ending piece of music. What's the vibe? I'm trying to use the more different music so I don't keep doing the same stuff. Let's go this. Let's go Goopa Blooper. Goopa Blooper Battle Boogie. Why not?
Is Dolly Parton shorter in the rain?
Who? Is who shorter in the rain? Dolly Parton? No idea she was French. What a wonderful note to end on. She's French now. Dolly Parton. Oh dear, Hazel. So this is why you add silly things to your stream. You discover stuff. Anywho, have a lovely, look after yourselves, be good and such. And... bye.